Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason, and this is another sports edition, and we are visiting another famous gravesite of a ball player. This guy was inducted into the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame in 1983, and he also played 15 seasons under Major League Baseball. He was born here, he passed away here, and he is buried here. His name, George Kell. I will tell you all about it. Here we go. So I am in Swifton, Arkansas. So in addition to him being a ball player, he was also a broadcaster and a businessman. He owned a motor company just about 10 miles down the road in Newport. And his son, who is buried next to him, helped him out with that business. But among his baseball highlights, he was mostly at the third base position. From 1943 to 1957, he played for 5 different teams: the Baltimore Orioles, Detroit Tigers, the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Philadelphia Athletics, but not in that order. His career highlights include 1949 American League batting champion with a .343 average. He was a 10-time American League All Star from 1947 to 1954, and then from 1956 to 1957. He was a 2-time league leader in hits with 218 in 1950, 191 in 1951, and 2-time league leader in doubles with 56 in 1950 and 36 in 1951. After high school graduation, he went to Arkansas State University, which is not too far from here. That's in Jonesboro. But of course, he was playing baseball at that time, and then after attending that university, he made his big league debut with the Philadelphia Athletics on September 28th, 1943. And then after retiring as a player in 1957, he served as a longtime broadcaster with the Detroit Tigers from 1959 to 1963, and then from 1965 to 1997. His younger brother, Everett, who is buried somewhere in the cemetery as well, had a brief time in the major leagues as well. And again, he was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, George Kell that is, in 1983. But it was part of the Veterans Committee. But hey, you know, if he's in the Hall of Fame, he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's a lot of fair and unfair ways of getting in there, but by all means. And this is the final resting place of George Clyde Kell, baseball royalty. And one thing I left out was he also served 10 years with the Arkansas State Highway Commission, and that was from 1973 to 1983. And his wife is buried next to him. She passed away of colon cancer in 1991. And again, next to him is their son, George Jr., who passed away in 2007. And as I was saying earlier, he did help out with his dad's business, the motor business, until his retirement in 2005. So there are plenty of details about his playing career in Major League Baseball, but the real question lies here. So what did he consider as what was his best team that he played with? Well, I mean, he was an all-star, and he was a champion on most of those teams that he played for, but he was inducted into the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame as a Detroit Tiger. So if you see his plaque at the museum, you'll see him wearing a Detroit cap. Rest in peace, Mr. George Kell, a true baseball great. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason, just next to the grave of Baseball Hall of Famer George Kell at Swifton Cemetery in Swifton, Arkansas. I am Jason, signing off.